Welcome to the video where I speak about why Xdefiants preseason was absolutely shit. For example, I'm about to show some clips of just stuff that can happen while you're playing Xdefiant. Well, at least in the preseason. Hopefully these get fixed in the season 1, but it threw me off the game for ages, these things. If you look at this clip, the hipfire and the snipers were that awful, it made me not want to hipfire at all. And then in this clip, the hit registration shown right there is awful. And then it registered the shield too many times in that clip. I don't know what the problem was with that. And just in case you're saying, oh, I must be bad just from those clips, I'm about to show some of the scoreboards from a couple of the games I played. Here they are. In this game, it's like 61 kills, 42, 29, and then 41. I'd say that's about the average of a game. Pretty good considering I've only got 24 games played. But then, I could probably be a lot better if I did play more. But anyway, I also hated the camo system a lot. In many other games you can grind for camos, but in this game, those 3 camos are the only camos you can buy. Here's what the rest you can grind for look like. Notice how they were none? And then there's also only one other way to get camos in the game. Some of them are quite shit as well. A $14 black camo, and then that camo is pretty good, but it's in a bundle that I think is pretty overpriced. And then this camo, also a pretty nice camo, but I feel like you should just be able to grind for camos instead of just having 5 camos or 3 camos and that's it. They need to like add a camo progression system. I'm going to use Call of Duty as an example. Don't get mad because I'm using Call of Duty. Many other games have a camo system kind of like this. I have 900 camos to grind for, and weapon prestige camos. The 900 camos also include the 4 mastery camos that I can get. And there's even more mastery camos in the game if I use the Modern Warfare 2 camos. The next point I'm going to go over isn't much gameplay wise. Same as the last point, wasn't much gameplay wise. Like, these things don't really matter in terms of gameplay. But I feel like if you're going to have in-game store, you should at least make most of the store skins good. Like this skin, not that bad. And then the next skin, you just add some green lights. Probably one of the worst skins in the game. And then the next 2 skins I'm going to show are actually pretty good, like this skin. Probably also a bit overpriced, that skin. This skin's actually pretty decently priced. Just in case you thought I was going to show the bad things, I also showed some good things there. But then there's also things like the modes that I kind of hit the selection of modes that I have in the game. There should definitely be more. And yeah, it is in pre-season. Hopefully this season 1 helps. Like, look, there's 6 modes. And then I'm going to show the mode selection in Call of Duty. I know that Call of Duty has had 5 seasons now to get modes, but look at the mode selection here. Half these modes are already there by season 1. And hopefully Xdefiant does it, add more modes. Like, the game needs it badly. And then the next point I'm going to bring up is the progression system. I couldn't actually find any parts for leveling up in Xdefiant in terms of player level. So I'm going to show you what a progression system should look like. Again, I'm going to use Call of Duty as an example. As you can see, like, I earn weapons, perks, all sorts of different stuff just from leveling up. And even with the prestige, even though it's not the classic prestige, I still get more challenges to do. It gives me stuff to do. But in Xdefiants, kind of none of that. And it would be nice if I actually got rewarded for leveling up my player progression and not get a bunch of nothing from it. The only level progression in the game is actually the weapons. And in order to get half the weapons, since there's no level up system, there's challenges. The challenges aren't very hard, but I wish I could kind of not have to think about getting the weapon before I get it. And yeah, there are the armory unlocks in Modern Warfare 3, but all you really got to do for that is win, like 3 times at most. Everything in Xdefiants locked behind a challenge that either takes way too long, makes you have to think about going for that weapon, you need to use that specific weapon class to get a certain thing, point blank SMG kills. It's just a lot. Really shouldn't need that much. I also kind of thought they were gonna put in weapons everywhere by leveling up and that. I played a bit of the beta, and I thought they were going to add in more weapons. They've only added 1 so far as well this season. Hopefully, and next season they are adding 3. But by the looks of it, they aren't that good. But anyway, I'm also going to go show Xdefiant movement clips. I'm not a big, huge fan of the movement. In this clip, it's pretty smooth there, I guess, but I kind of hate how when you slide it cuts your camera down like instantly. It's a bit janky in my opinion. Also kind of feels like sliding doesn't really get me very far. And running is like the old arcadey running from a lot of the old Call of Duty games that people want the feel of anyway. But I definitely feel like the sliding could be definitely a bit better. Hopefully that gets looked at on Season 1 at least. Well, and to compare their movement to another game, I can't really compare, because no movement kind of like that. Like, again, I'm going to probably use Call of Duty as an example here, but just look at the way I slide in the clips in the background of me talking. The sliding doesn't cut the camera down instantly, it's like a smooth transition. That's what I want to see in all games that have sliding, not instant cut down from where you were just standing 2 seconds ago. And another thing that I want to go over is the abilities. The abilities are what makes the game unique. But I really only feel like there's one or two factions that actually have use. I'm about to show, I'm showing off one of the abilities in the game that I really think should be changed or looked at or something like that. Like, look at that. I was winning the gunfight, puts up a shield, and I lose the gunfight for it. And not only does that faction have shields, they have an extra 20 health. I don't think a faction should have extra HP at all time, at any time. It's kind of stupid. And especially when there's no downsides to that faction. Like, they just get a bunch of shields. I guess it's not really combat, like mid-combat type ability that you can use, but it doesn't really matter when you got that 20 extra HP to win any gunfight. As long as you are quick enough, you'll win the gunfight. But anyway, here's a clip from like the beta. Now, that clip shows the grenade dropping at my feet when I throw. I thought that would have been fixed in the main game, but here's a clip from the main game. This is also a pretty old clip. I haven't had it happen to me in ages, but I don't think it should have happened once. They had like a year to fix many problems, and they didn't fix anything really. They kind of just did nothing. Like, what was the point of having a beta if the game was going to release pretty much the exact same way anyway? The only thing they changed is the graphics. Like, in the beta, they had all the weapons. I thought there were going to be more weapons on launch, but there was no extra weapons. The only thing they really hid from you in the beta was the mastery cameras. And everybody kind of already knew what the final one was going to be anyway. So they really should have just shown you what they were going to look like. They had the same amount of maps, had the same amount of modes, had the same amount of everything. The beta should have been holding back some stuff so the full release had more excitement to it, so you got to see what was new in the new release. A year later, and it still felt like you were playing the same game. And yeah, sure, Call of Duty betas don't really hide too much. It still gives people excitement for when the game comes out. It's not going to be the same thing you played months ago. And I'm not just making these points because I play Call of Duty. I play a lot of games. No, some of the games I play aren't even shooter games. I'm just using Call of Duty as an example because I don't really have any clips from any other first-person shooter game I play. But anyway, at the end of the day, this is my opinion. You can have a different one. You can play the game. You can enjoy the game. I just thought the preseason was real bad. Well, anyway, this is the end of this, so I'll probably do another one.